we have a special announcement for everybody. Surprise. Sean's wearing a Cool Frank's Wiener shirt.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. Hot dog is a sandwich. But that's not our big announcement. Our big announcement is we're back with Draggin Bags, baby. I feel like I need applause or something.
Or a rap horn?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, or chimes. Mystical. Okay.
Kind of.
No. We're jazzed up. Back with Draggin Bags. If you guys need your heat, go get it in your hands over at dragginbags.com. Pick up a set today. They have a type of bag for every type of thrower. We say it all the time, folks. They make you better. It's just science. So head over to dragginbags.com, drop code BIGASP12 at checkout, and get yourself a bag today.
Welcome to the Big Ass Cornhole Show with Sean and Dane, the host you know, talking cornhole life and random fun. Grab a beer, let's get it done. From tossing bags to let's wild ride, tune in and join the party, don't you hide. It's the Big Ass Cornhole podcast time with Sean and Dane. It's always prime. What Sean has done. From tossing bags to let's wild ride, tune in and join the party, don't you hide. It's the Big Ass Cornhole podcast time with Sean and Dane. It's always prime. Tossing back to life's wild ride. Tune in and join the party, don't you hide. It's the Big Ass Cornhole podcast time with Sean and Dane. It's always prime. For Sean is prime.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Big Ass Cornhole Podcast. Sean and Dane are with you as always. What's going on, man?
Oh, same old.
You finally starting to recover?
Yeah, again, yesterday I was just so tired.
Well, I know that still counts.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, but yeah, I felt great this morning.
I get it. So, fun episode today. All right, so
They always are.
We're gonna get into all of it right after this. All right, Dane, do what you do best. Let the folks know what we're sipping on tonight in our favorite segment called "What You Drinking."
What you drinking?
So stumbled across Sierra Nevada, had a new version of their Little Thing IPA. So this one's called the Cool Little Thing IPA. It's a cryo fresh
Hold that can up.
hazy IPA.
Nice.
Cool Little Thing. 7.5%. It's crisp, refreshing. It's a good one. So if you see it on the
steal
shelves,
one for the interview.
yeah, definitely snag one. It's
You sold me.
it's very good. Yes, I did it. It's a
Came over here
limited
tonight. And
hazy
I'm like,
series.
I'm not gonna have a beer, and then
It
I kind
says-
of want a beer.
Dive deep into cryo fresh hoppy flavor.
Wow.
Hot damn.
But I mean, sold.
Or should I say hop damn?
You did.
I
You
did.
All right, well, Cornhole friends, we have more audio gold planned for you all today. Again, we're going to be kind of recapping all the latest news, new partnerships, all that stuff. We have dramatic readings, and then we're going to be joined by ACL Pro, Mr. Ethan Walker, who is going to announce his pro partner for this year. And I think his pro partner plans on stopping by too. So should be a fun interview.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah. So I hope you guys enjoy. But before we get on all that, we're going to let you know what's going on in our cornhole lives in a segment we call In and Around the Hole.
Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
All right. So we, Saturday,
Sean, we golfed.
we golfed. It was fun. Went out there. We had 3 foursomes.
Well, hang on first.
Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I actually did play cornhole.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
I went to league night, filled in for a buddy.
All right.
Me and Tony Rinaldi. I filled in for Mr. Jason Place. Thanks for being an Aruba buddy, because me and Tony went in and just absolutely shredded.
Nice.
Took names.
What'd you guys throw with?
So we threw Power Dragons.
Oh, of course.
Yep. And surprise, surprise, went 6-0.
Your baby Power Dragons?
My baby
Your-
Power
your
Dragons.
whites?
Yeah. They were doing all the magical things. I will give Tony Rinaldi credit. He hit,
You don't have to give him credit.
dude, in one game, He hit 2 of the craziest airmail drags I've ever seen in my life.
All right.
Yes.
Well, and he has a power
were-
drag in his hand. So.
Dude, it was unbelievable. I keyholed a couple of airmails. Like, we were just hitting some really good shots.
Sweet.
And all in all, very fun. SPR jumped up like 5 points.
Ooh, look at you.
Yeah. So it was a good day. I was throwing really well.
Just reminding the folks, you know what I mean?
I still got it sometimes. I mean, when it's humming. I mean, I was throwing the whole day. I think I was up around like an 8-7 or something. Like, I felt like I was throwing pretty well. So
Sweet. I actually, Tony wanted me to play for him because he's like, I injured my back. You got your brother, but unfortunately, I had the kids.
yeah, and honestly, he sucked it up because he was hurting. He's hurting bad. Like, his back's not in a good spot. So yeah, he gutted it out, and
maybe that's what was wrong with his cornhole game. You know what I mean? Just need to fuck up his back.
Yeah, and then he
fixed his
just,
throw.
just stands a little straighter now.
Listen, what do you want? Do you want a back? Or do you want back pain and a shit throw? I mean, like, you can't have both, Tony.
You can't have both. Yep.
Clearly.
But on to golf, dude.
Yeah.
Sean.
So, yeah, Saturday
We went out.
we had a little scramble. We had 2 foursomes and a threesome.
Yes.
It was like a complete hodgepodge of individuals, which just made my heart so happy.
It
Like,
really
just
did.
Bringing people from like every aspect of like my life to some degree. Had the Tom Cleary. I mean, he's not going to listen to this, but shout out to Tom Cleary.
If you know him, you know he's an absolute legend. If you don't know him, just know he's an absolute legend.
Yeah, he was the head coach of the team that I used to be involved with. So he came out and joined us. We had my dad, my uncle.
I mean, he's so old that he started his first year coaching was when I was a junior in high school. Yeah.
Correct. Good guy though. Like,
He's a
solid
great
dude.
dude.
So we had dad, we had Uncle Dean, and then we had a Cleveland cornhole group.
Yes, we did.
We had Dennis, we had Kevin Fairchild, we had Kevin Allen,
Yeah.
and then we had TJ.
TJ.
So that was a fun group.
Heck yeah. I mean, it was all in all, I think like everyone scored pretty evenly.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
I
in
think
our
it was-
group, we had me, you,
Yeah.
and it was your our buddy Lance.
Yep.
And then our cousin Tyler from North Carolina flew in
Damn Skippy.
to go golfing with us for the weekend.
We were team fun.
yeah. Oh God, I
yeah.
had a lot of fun.
Dude, I mean, we all had a lot
Oh,
of
yeah,
fun.
it
I
was-
mean, you just you're able to take it into a little extra level. I had to drive us back, so I always had that lingering in my mind.
Thank
like,
you for that.
Just
So,
don't get too wasted, but still get a little wasted.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, all in all, dude, like absolute blast.
It was.
You know, people have had some fun, like messing around with me driving a green and covering the ball in sand, making me look
That was
forward
kinda
for
funny,
like
though.
20 minutes. Like,
that was kind of funny though.
I knew I piped this drive
If I
absolutely
didn't
perfectly.
say anything to you, would you have been able to tell that there was a
No.
ball there?
No, I was walking up to that to see what it was because I was like, "What is
Okay.
like?" I could not tell that there was a ball there.
Because me and Tyler were sitting back, and after you hit the ball, we were trying to follow it, and then we saw them. They were all kind of standing there and watching us tee off. And
Yeah.
I ripped a drive. Like, I
Yes.
ended up 10 yards short.
You
So
put
I was
us-
already thinking, like, all right, we're good.
Yeah.
So you can just, like, go at it. And you
Yeah,
did.
and I went after it.
And then we saw them kind of hang around for a minute, and we thought we saw them bend over and then, like, walk to their carts. But we didn't think anything of it. But then when we drove up there and we didn't see anything right away.
Yeah, that's what
we're
I was like.
Wait a
where the
minute. No,
hell
no.
does
If this
ball
is
go?
mine, like, Dane outdrove me by at least 20 yards. Like, I know this.
Yeah,
So where the fuck is his ball? And then randomly you see this mound of sand just off on the fringe, and they covered Dane's ball with
yeah.
sand.
They
so.
basically just poured all of the sand out from the divot repair thing. So
They didn't spell asp though.
they did. They used that to spell asp.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was much needed on my part. Like, I needed like a guy's like golf day. You know what I mean? Like, just to get out, just have fun, just don't think about anything. And it was one of those days where like golf was like my last thought.
Yeah,
Didn't care. Like, I hit some good shots. I hit some really bad shots. You know what I mean? But all in all, as a group, we actually played well as a group because we had a putt for birdie 18 motherfucking times. We
Yeah.
just could not hit a
couldn't make-
putt.
I
Yeah,
mean,
we just could not make a putt. And I
a
was not
couple that
helping
we
it.
did.
Yeah.
There were ones that were like, we better make this because they were like pretty damn close. And then, I mean, I was able to. Our one rule was if you need a mulligan, shotgun.
Shot a beer. Yep.
And luckily, I had the gusto to do it twice for us and drain some birdie putts. So
I also did it
You-
several times, but did not work out.
didn't
as
work
well.
out. But hey,
But hey.
you gave it the shot.
I did.
So yeah, all in all, like absolute blast. Thank you, gentlemen, if you listen to this for coming out. Guys, a lot of people could have had this sort of fun with us. We were expecting to do it at a different venue, but alas, that didn't work out. So
And we're pitching around this idea of doing like a guys retreat.
Yeah.
somewhere. So
We saw the ladies retreat.
yeah, so I think we might try to do something next year for like a guys retreat. So if you'd be interested in something like that, just shoot us a message. Just be like, depending on the details, like I'd want to learn more or something. You know what I mean? Like, because I do think it would be kind of fun. We would definitely.
We're incorporating golf.
We would like to, yeah. And then obviously there would be cornhole and stuff mixed in as well.
Of course.
So, no, I think it could be kind of fun. But yeah, yesterday we had Patreon happy hour.
Yes, we did.
Before that, we met with the members of Team Big Ass.
Team Big Ass.
So we're going to be announcing that this week, just finalizing all the details there.
Did we come up with like a secret handshake for Team Big Ass?
Not yet. Listen, I think there's 17 members. I think we have to come up with 17 unique ones. Or you know what? I'm going to task you with coming up with 17.
Yeah, I feel like that and like
handshakes.
some sort of saying, like like a calling or something, like squee.
That's gonna be in your department. All right, I give you that.
I mean, I'll use the power of Team Big Asp and bring it to a vote.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
because I think there should be like some kind of call, like across,
Yeah.
like several courts if you want to get.
This is why I was
attention.
happy you were tired during the meeting yesterday, because you kind of just sat there and
Dude,
just let me talk.
I was so out of it last night. My weekend was so we'll recap too. On Friday night,
Yeah.
we had quite the accomplishment. Picked up our cousin Tyler from the airport, went over to your house, and we proceeded to crush 2 cases betwixt the 3 of us.
Yeah, and some with Todd from next door.
Yeah, I think Todd had like 2 or 3.
Yep.
But yeah, we took it down.
And it was one of those nights that like we just literally sat at the table just chopping it up
Shot
for
the
3
shit,
hours.
man. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like nothing. It was nothing crazy. You know what I mean? Like my kids were upstairs sleeping, and we were just sitting out on my back patio. And yeah.
Argument to be made that those are the best times.
oh yeah, for
Because
sure.
I think they are.
Oh,
and yeah, absolute blast. But yeah, next thing we know, it was like 1 a.m. We like looked down at the table. We're like, wow, that's a lot of beer. And then like the case was empty. So we're like, well, I guess I'm going to go home.
Yep. You guys
And
walked home. It was
we
smart. You
walked
guys
home.
walked over. It was
Oh
smart.
yeah, I wasn't going to. I knew what we were getting into. We
Yeah.
rolled over. We brought a rolling cooler
You did.
with a case in it ready to rip. So
Yeah. Did you see I left my chair out here randomly? I know that's just while we're recording a podcast asking you this. Right outside your garage door, I left my camping chair out there because when I picked up Tyler the other day, I forgot like, oh shit, you have like luggage and stuff, and I have 2 kids in the car.
Yeah.
So I left my camping chair like right outside your garage.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
Is it still there?
I don't know. That's what I was
I
asking
didn't
you.
see it.
That would suck.
Yeah, someone might have ganked it.
Okay. Well, that would suck, but
I mean, it just rained all day.
I put it like under like the awning. I don't care. It's not like I use it all the
Yeah.
time. It just happened to be in there for the Saturday football games, which I
I
never
never
get
look
to
for
sit
it, but
down.
I mean,
anyways.
I park right there. I didn't notice it,
Gotcha.
so somebody might have.
Anyways, so that was just a little sneak peek into the look of our lives when we're not recording the podcast.
Yeah, just epic amounts of beers, apparently.
Yeah. Hell yeah. All right. So this week, there's been a few teams that have been announced. So let's kind of recap some of these. The first one that I saw that popped up was Berkeley Pear and Juwan Smith. I like it. I mean, Berkeley again is one of those guys that we know how talented he can be, and Juwan like had a good year last year. So
He did.
I mean,
I mean-
they're one of those teams that like I don't project them to be like a top 25 team, but
But I didn't even know
He's
Juwan
sneaky
Smith's
good.
name until that.
yeah.
Was that at Spencer's with the?
Yes.
Yeah, at the.
But I mean,
Super Hole.
but again, that's what you want out of somebody when they get their chance to shine. They make
Oh,
an
yeah,
impression
yeah. No,
on
I
you.
mean,
You
he
know
was-
what I mean? Like
he was
got
fun
that
to watch, and I
crazy
became a
grip
fan.
of the bag. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like just basically holds it like completely flat, but super talented. So I'll be interested. I think it's cool.
We just like Trevor Brooks is no more than.
I don't know. That's why I haven't seen like an official pro list.
So sad.
Yeah, I would imagine so because I mean I know those two were pretty
Yeah,
tight.
they were pretty tight, but yeah, I mean, as a fan, I hate to see Berkeley not play with Trevor, but
Yeah, no, I get
mean,
it. I get it.
It's a nice pairing though.
Humans playing with Ian Cripps. It's an odd pair. You know what I mean? Like I would have never picked those two to like kind of play together, but it kind of works. I mean, Humans it strikes me as somebody that can kind of throw whatever.
I feel like they both kind of have similar-ish journeys, but in reverse.
And I don't think Ian gets enough credit.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Like he does not get enough respect
Jimmy
in terms of like
Humans-
getting partner power. You know
when
what I mean?
Jimmy
On the other
Humans was
side.
first on the scene, he was like anointed right off the
Yeah.
rip,
Yeah.
and he was doing very, very well. Yeah, Cripps was known as the Golden Boy or whatever, it is.
Wonder Boy.
Wonder
Yeah.
Boy. But he wasn't quite like what Baby Goat's level was. He had to earn it,
Yeah.
and
for
now
sure.
he's like, I think he's the anointed one.
I mean,
and
right.
Humans has to get up to his level to be successful. They
So
have
you
a
would say
chance
he's
to be,
the 1A then?
I think Cripps is the 1A right now.
Okay.
But they're both very close. And they're kind of one of those where I don't think there's going to be an alpha dog type teams. It's just going to be hold down your end, I'll hold down mine. And
I think
we'll see
Cripps
how we
showed
do.
us enough last year that, if anything, I think they're equals.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, again, I just think Cripps' trajectory has pushed him past Humans.
I'm not
right
arguing.
now.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm kind of like kind of talking myself into agreeing with you. Because I was thinking the opposite at first, but I'm like, no, like he's recently. I mean, he's had more success. So
Yeah, and I think
they're they're going to be a very sneaky good team. I'll be interested to see the bag choice and how fast can Humans kind of adapt to that. Mm-hmm. But other than that, like I think they could be pretty good.
For sure. I mean, I think they have top 20-ish potential.
Another random-ish team, but not too random. We have Deborah Odom. She's returning to Flux, and she's going to be throwing with Gary Bearpaw.
Yes.
Listen, Bearpaw's going to be an issue this year.
And they know each other from horseshoes.
Yeah, I know. So
it could be a scary team because
I talked to Deb
gets going.
quite a bit at Spencer's, and she told me that was kind of their plan, was to throw together once he qualified. And they were just searching for bag sponsors. So it looks like they're, Flux, they're very happy with. Talked to the owner the other day. We're going to be getting bags to review in the future and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this team. I mean, I think they're going to be very rock solid. Deb Odom, you know what you're going to get. You know what I mean? She hasn't had tons and tons of success on, the pro circuit, but this is a legit partner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know what you're going to get from Gary. You're going to get like a 10 PPR from this guy. Mm-hmm. And they're going to throw probably a pretty similar bag. And I think that they're going to be pretty scary.
Yeah, they could be scary.
They're going to be a team you don't want to see early on.
And
I think.
Do they have senior doubles now too?
I don't know, honestly.
Okay, because they would be
I don't
actually
think so.
a very scary team in senior doubles as well.
Okay.
If that's a thing.
Another Flux team. I was a little bit surprised, not by the pairing, because we kind of have been talking about this for a while, but that they signed with Flux was Eddie G and Turpin. So Eddie G, a longtime BG dude, right? Just got, a season ago, you would have never imagined Eddie G leaving BG. He just won 3 national championships in doubles in a row, had BG plastered all over himself.
And still put up a nice
1 year
season this
removed.
last year.
1 year removed. It was odd. You know what I mean? So he's going with Flux, throwing Dylan Turpin. I think. Listen, we already talked about how talented that team is going to be. I worry a little bit about bag choice, maybe, but just because I've never been exposed to the Flux bags. But Vetti's comfortable with them. Dylan figures it out quickly. We know that they have top 5 potential.
For sure. I mean, absolutely. And that's just, yeah, I kind of wish they were throwing like WTF or something, but
yeah. Perhaps the biggest name pairing, I would argue, that launched this past week was another all cornhole team. You have Damon Dennis is now throwing with Frank Modlin.
Pulled out of the ashes.
Yeah, man. I kind of like it. Listen, Damon Dennis with a game changer in his hand was was a top 5 player in the world. People forget this, I think, sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think the last 2 seasons, people forget like just how good Damon Dennis can be. Like, what was it, 3 years ago that he was like winning a national in singles and just he's not that far removed from that.
He's not, and he still has
and he's coming home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think we're gonna see a very motivated team, both of these guys. How much success at the national level will they have? I don't know. I think that's going to depend a lot on Frank. Frank is not going to be able to step over the line. I think he's been playing the game long enough without having to step over that he's going to figure it out.
Yeah.
But we know at the pro level, you don't get that figuring out phase. I get that every time I go to a regional.
For sure.
You don't get those first 3 rounds where you're like, oh, we're both going to feel it out, right?
Yeah.
No.
Next thing you know, you're down 12 points.
Exactly. They're 4-bagging you right off the rip, and you're like, oh, shit, I better figure it out fast.
Yep.
And you start thinking too much. So I do like, I think it's an interesting pair. It makes sense based on who was all around. I think that personality-wise, they are going to be a great fit.
I definitely agree. Do we just out of a random thought? Mm-hmm. Do we know like the full rules for the step over, like regarding disabilities? Like, would Frank's hip replacements?
I cannot.
No,
I cannot
able to do that.
I cannot imagine that would count.
I'm just
He doesn't
asking.
walk with an assistive device. You know what I mean? Like he's not on some sort of disability from work. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there has to be something more.
Okay.
than
Yeah,
that.
I was just curious. I didn't know if
No,
we
it's-
had like all the rules there. Or
Honestly,
anything.
Dane, it's a good question to ask. It
Yeah.
really is. I'm just saying this is what I hope it would be, but I could be wrong. Wouldn't that be sneaky? You go to First National, Frank's still stepping over, right? You know what I mean?
Frank's
Wow.
just jumping like Jordan over the line.
So we have Ethan Walker coming up, and he's going to be doing his partner review. I know we have dramatic readings, but we're running out of time. So what I propose is, if it fits in with that episode, let's drop it in with them.
Yeah. Which dramatic reading do you have up first?
We have 2 of them.
Which one's first? Maybe we could sneak one in real quick.
Let me see. Let's see. All right. Do one right
The
now.
world where bean bags have brought men to their knees. Social media serves as sanctuary for keyboard warriors. Time for the dramatic readings.
Chad Firth. American Cornhole League has maybe 5 years left. Greed, it's a shame. They should have only 50 pros. Nobody else can survive with these prices sponsors can't even pay. Everyone else is being robbed. They have killed Cornhole. They can even keep a sponsor for themselves, ACL. Just posted to check in 5 years where it's at. Memories. That's where the ACL will be. A memory.
It's timed perfectly with the piano.
This guy tried so hard to nail it.
Yeah.
But punctuation is key, and like capital letters also help to kind of know when you're ending a thought going into another one. But that's here nor there. I don't think they've killed Cornhole. Last time I checked,
Sean.
I mean, we're still doing a show about it.
That we are. We are.
I guess you got to be more specific. What are we talking about here? You can't just throw out how are they being greedy? You can't just be they're greedy. Why? How are they being greedy? Because they're a business and they're making.
Well, I'm
money.
hoping
I
that your next dramatic reading is what prompted this dramatic reading.
yes.
So in lieu of that, I think we'll.
Did I do the order correctly? Would you have rather me done the other one?
I would have done it flip flop.
Really? No, I didn't think so.
Because honestly, everything that we're going to talk about with the other dramatic reading is going to make this completely moot.
Yeah, that's why I
feel
figured
dumb.
read this now. So if somebody might be agreeing,
We might
with
have to
them,
reread it again
I
for
doubt
the
that, but-
people at home.
All right. So hang on for just a minute. We're gonna bring on Ethan Walker and another special friend of ours.
Yes, Cornell's dead.
Yeah, Cornell's
He's
dead.
dead.
So hope you guys enjoy the interview, and we're just we'll finish it up with these guys.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's mix it up a little bit. We're going on to year 6 now.
Chippity chop.
Let's spice it up. I know everyone thinks oh, they're gonna say the same old thing, but I'm not going to. I'm not
Yep.
gonna say it. Not to the end of, at least the very end of the episode.
Say something different.
Um,
Put you Johnny on the spot over here.
Johnny Appleseed.
Just because I said Johnny on the spot.
That's all.
Johnny Appleseed.
All right, that's where we're going with. All right.
Um,
Anyways, enjoy the interview, and we'll be back in just a second.
applesauce.
Applesauce, yes, Mott's.
Welcome back to the Big Ass Cornhole Podcast, where we are now joined by ACL Pro Ethan Walker and his soon-to-be partner reveal.
What's going on, man?
Not much, guys. How's it going?
It's going. So you're at a local blind draw?
Yeah, big blind job tonight. We got a live stream report. It's pretty sick in here.
That's sweet. It looked pretty big.
Yeah, it's huge.
On a Monday.
How many people you guys pull out for something like that?
I think we had about 50 tonight, and then we'll have 65, 70 tomorrow.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Nice.
Damn, on a Monday night, that's pretty good.
Yeah, we get a pretty good group.
Sweet. And you went to the Clash this weekend, right?
I did.
Shout out to Reggie Wright.
Yeah. We had fun. I did not. It was not my best. I was a little jet lagged from Germany.
Oh, I can imagine that. Who did you play with?
So I played with Blake Maston. You probably don't know him.
I don't think I know. No.
He's a local kid.
Okay.
We live really close. We play a lot together.
Sweet.
But we didn't do too hot.
All right. Good tournament though.
Yeah, great tournament. I love Reggie's tournaments. He always does a great job.
Did you golf with them the day before?
No, so I was going to, but then I had a bunch of delays and stuff.
Oh, I gotcha.
So I didn't get home till 1 a.m. the night before.
Okay.
And then I showed up at the class.
Okay. I think our
That
plan
sucks.
is to go out for that next year.
Oh, I think it's that's a given. We
I
absolutely
know
have
everyone
to.
wants us to go to the Paradise one, but
Yeah.
I can't do that to Reggie. I got to go out to Reggie's.
I mean, Paradise doesn't have golf included.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
you know,
This is very true.
golfing with the boys, nothing
yeah.
better.
I know so many courses around there too. We can go hit some.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's kind of like I guess
So
the
you
plan.
know, maybe we stay an extra day, or
So Reggie, when you're
come in a
listening
day
to
earlier.
this, you can just message us just a big old thumbs up. Okay, we're gonna plan on going out there next year, so that'll be one of the other ones.
Sean needs to pop his Clash cherry.
I do.
All right.
I do.
It's a great tournament. That's the first big tournament I ever played, so it means a lot to me. It's a good
enough.
It's one of
tournament.
the first tournaments I've traveled to, like big ones that I traveled to.
I think that was the first one.
Yeah, I mean, packed up shipped the golf clubs and everything out there.
It was crazy.
And they fucking lost them on the way back.
And if you really think about it, it's kind of bananas because like we hadn't been doing this all that long.
No,
You know what I mean?
I was like, hey, well,
Like good thing. Like
at that
we
time
met
though,
good
I was
people.
more going to play,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah,
were
that's true.
actually like decent. So I was like, all right, well, see if we can win some money. No dice.
Yeah. Who did you play with again?
Tony
That's
Rinaldi.
right. That's right.
It all comes full circle.
God damn. It really does. You're having flashbacks with the Clash.
I know, and we threw so well.
God damn.
That was the
Maybe we'll
start
do a live
of.
podcast.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
hell yeah.
Oh yeah. We're there for sure.
But that was the start of the Rinaldi Sam Finley,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The love triangle.
the love, yeah, the love hate relationship. It's hilarious.
So you gotta tell me, how was Germany? I've never been there.
Dude, it was a blast. The European cornhole players are so much.
Oh, I can only imagine, dude. They were
They're
so
fun.
we got so many messages from different like European players, and
Yes.
they were so excited for you guys to go out and stuff. Like you guys made so many people's days just by like stopping and taking pictures with people. Like so cool.
It was awesome. We had a blast. Had a little too much European beer. It's a little stronger than the
Attaboy.
yeah, but it was.
I heard
fun.
you.
We
I
had a
heard you
blast.
ordering. You sent me a video of you and Logan ordering beers and stuff. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a few
that's good.
Belgian beers, 12%ers.
So where was your favorite place you went?
Amsterdam.
Okay, all right,
Amsterdam was awesome.
for sure.
It was-
Did you leave the red light district?
yeah, we walked through it, but we weren't there very long, honestly.
Okay, what'd you like about
Yeah, it was-
What'd you like about Amsterdam?
Just all the old buildings and everything, and then
Okay.
the coffee shops are cool, and
Sweet.
just a cool experience.
Hell yeah, yeah. I've
Yeah.
definitely want to get on. That's on my bucket list.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Definitely.
Hell yeah.
maybe we have to go to one of these tournaments, John.
I know.
I think next year's in Croatia.
Oh no shit.
So,
I heard
so
that's
think
beautiful.
We're going back. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If they ever go back to like England, like we have a place to stay, you know what I mean? So
Very
like,
true.
that's be
Very
kind of
true.
sweet. So we'll see. But you reached out to me like a week ago and we're like, hey, can I come on the show to kind of make this announcement? So I posted it earlier and up until, 30 minutes before we were recording, no one had guessed who your partner was going to be. Which I think is kind of crazy because like not many of these like partnerships go relatively unknown for this long. So I think it is kind of cool. So who are you playing with this year?
This year, I will be playing with none other than Cody Henderson, the legend.
Hell yeah. Cody, what's up, dude?
What's up, guys? That's a pretty good introduction. Thanks
Right.
for that.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
The
I'll get
legend.
used to
Okay,
it.
so I gotta say, when I first heard this, like I was surprised just because like it was, I don't know, a little left field, right? I mean, at least when on paper at first,
Yeah.
but I kind of like it. And
Oh, I love it.
the one who actually sold it to me was who were we talking to when they were with strategy? Was it Kingsbury?
Yeah, I think it was Kingsbury.
Yeah, or it was like the mix and match. I can't remember who it was. Regardless, I think you guys are gonna be awesome. I'm just really interested, Cody. How did you come across like cornhole scenario and like how did this whole thing happen?
Well, I mean, I talked with Ethan just about cornhole scenario over the last, I want to say, more than one season, more than just this last season.
Okay.
I think we played against each other at Worlds the year before last. So like we had talked a little bit. It wasn't. I mean, it was more of just like acquaintance kind of talk. I feel like kind of jab at each other. Didn't know each other that well. I feel like kind of talk just about, typical cornhole stuff that, everybody talks about, what everybody's throwing, what everybody's trying to accomplish, like where they've been, where they come from, all that.
Oh, we're asking the wrong questions.
Got to know each other a little bit more and talk throughout this season. And seemed like everybody was either, I mean, there were only so many teams that had the seasons they were looking for, but then you had things that kind of went wrong and things that people are looking for opportunities for next season. And it just kind of worked out, honestly. When he talked to me, I was thinking, well, I'm not real happy with the way things panned out for me going into this last season. Like, it didn't have a sponsor. It takes a lot of money to do this. I was thinking, if dominoes fall right, it would be fun. Like, it would be fun, but everything had to go right, and everything did for it to work out for us. So, we'll have to see how it actually works out see if we can turn that into wins.
How do you feel like your game is right now?
I'm rusty, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, right now, I think that once you get off the break I didn't go to Spencer's. So, like, I've had,
I know. I see pictures of you windburned every fucking year. And
yeah,
I went there
so
this year and you weren't even there. Like, what the fuck?
So happy to not go to Spencer's. Nothing against Spencer's. It's just not my type of tournament, and it's too hot and I'm too white. So I don't want to go.
Fair enough.
Nothing against the event at all, but I'd rather not do that. Yeah, I would say after taking the break from Worlds, been working on some stuff myself. I don't have like a very perfect place to get practice in. I don't have a building or facility. So a lot of it is, really try to work on fundamental stuff that I've had trouble with over the last, I don't know, however many years, like try to iron some stuff out, get in better shape, be able to last on these long weekends a little bit more. But, it's going to, I imagine this is going to be a work in progress thing for me over the next 3 or 4 months. Like, this isn't going to be something I figure out before Rock Hill. This isn't going to be something I figure out probably before Christmas time, but the goal is to have it all figured out and be, in the right headspace and, have all the fundamentals, timing and motion and everything in sync in the way that feels the best for me by the first national. And, got plenty of time to work it out. I'm excited. I'm excited about the opportunity.
No, I think it's going to be a unique duo because, like, again, like, stylistically, you guys are a little bit different. But I think, although,
let's talk about that. Go ahead and ask some questions about style differences and how it's going to work. Go ahead and ask Ethan that.
I am interested in it.
Well, I think it's going to work great as long as he can let me roll. If he lets me roll, we'll be all right.
No, I agree. And, like, I think what I was going to say is that stylistically, you guys are very different, but I think that
did we strike a chord?
It's kind of an inside joke. Because, when we first started talking, we would joke around a lot. He's like, "I would never play with you because I hate roll bags."
Well, I think it's ironic that you guys are both pretty like cerebral players, though.
Talked about like when we first like kind of met each other, and then we've been talking lately, and I think it's going to work great just because I can do my thing and he's just going to stroke. Yeah, he's going to have the airmail when he needs it, right?
I think he will.
I hope so.
No, I think stylistically you guys are different, but I think you guys are both. Did we cut out for a second?
We might still be cut out for a second.
All right, now we're good. All right, so stylistically you guys are different, but I think you guys are both cerebral players. But I'm interested in see, like, Ethan, if you're asking for advice, right, down at the other end, what Cody would, like, are you going to go with more your natural instincts, or are you going to, heat advice? Like, again, like, if your inside joke is not to roll, he wants you to shoot it kind of thing.
At the end of the day, like, I feel like we're going to both trust each other's game.
Yeah.
It's going to take a few tournaments, obviously. We've never really played tournaments together. Like, it always takes tournaments to get history.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, like, we'll have confidence in each other and we trust each other. And if it doesn't go right, like, we'll learn from it and change it. Right. And
I think you guys are both kind of like fiery a little bit on the boards, which I'm excited for.
Yes.
You guys are going to bring a little passion to the game. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like I think, like, friendly chirping, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be a good thing. And I think it has a profound effect on your opponents at times.
Absolutely.
I mean, Cody, I think you made an early name for yourself with that, like, with that kind of banter.
Yeah, definitely. I think that we match up pretty well just from that aspect of both of our games. I think he's pretty much right on, hit the nail on the head there with kind of letting each other do our own thing. There's so much of like what he wants to do and how he's had success just over like a lot of success over this last year. So I don't want to be the type of guy to be like, well, don't do that. because I can't understand in my head how that's supposed to feel, or like what the chances are of this being successful versus not. So in those spots, it's going to be, I'm trusting you to make the best decision for us. We're trying to win the game here. So don't ask. I mean, if you want to ask something on my end, it better just be, hey, how much of the hole do I have? Not what kind of shot do I have? In those situations, I mean, we both play a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be asking for, hey, do you want this or do you want that? Unless we're looking at something, a 17-15 game. It's went so many rounds. Like, this is how the players have played. Where's the opportunity? Who's the weak link? Like, you factor all that in. But aside from a specific random instance, it's probably going to be a lot of, hey, this is how much of the hole you're working with. Do what you feel most comfortable with. Like, you don't even really need to ask.
We'll learn. Like, that's just going to be part of it. Is we're just going to have to learn. Like, and I think once we do, we're going to be a really tough team to beat.
Yeah,
hope so.
So obviously, like last season, both of you guys had like doubles partners, like drama at some, like to some degree, right? Cody, I'm interested to see, like, was it difficult at all to see Adam like have a really successful year last year throwing with Trey?
Somebody else asked me that as well. I kind of expected that to happen.
Okay.
Expected both of them to have success because they're both good players.
Okay.
I mean, they played well for, Trey, not as many years as Adam has, but even over the last 6 or 7 years or whatever, Trey's had a lot of success as well. So I didn't expect them to miss a beat and have another year for, at least for Adam, throwing the same type of bag, same material, getting in a rhythm. He's having a lot of fun. I mean, that's going to help you play better. The more fun you have, and like the more you enjoy what you're doing, you're going to have a lot of success. So that wasn't really a surprise to me. I think that for my situation, I loved playing with Ryan Tucker last year. Like, it was a lot of fun. I love hanging out with Ryan Tucker. He's so much fun to be around. The only thing that had me bummed was, I didn't have a sponsor.
Yeah.
I didn't have a sponsor. So that's a major hit. Expected something to kind of work out as the year went on. Nothing really worked out.
Was that just no one was reaching out to you, or like, were you actively like reaching out to people and they were just saying like, listen, we're kind of tied up?
I mean, I was kind of being a bitch, and like, I just didn't like, I was just upset. So I didn't want to really talk to anybody about anything. So I didn't reach out to anyone. I didn't really talk to anyone outside of my core group, just about like, wanting to get something done. And, that's a fault of my own. And really, once it got to about, I want to say not halfway through the season, I think we probably got to Denver, I was already looking towards next year, and I was trying to build relationships, and I was having conversations, not about getting something for that year. It was write it out and put myself in a position to get something for this year. And that was where throughout the whole season I had talked with Biv with Cornhole Scenario, and really liked what she had done with her business, and I liked the players that she had on her team, and liked the bags. I think the first time I got to throw them was in Triadelphia, like fairly early in the season last year.
Okay.
So, and then at Worlds, was able to throw some of those in singles as well. And, without having my own personal set, did pretty well, had a lot of control, was really happy with them, and was really hoping that I could get a deal done, because I really wanted to continue throwing the equipment. I really like the equipment. I've always been a type of guy that's never really had a preference. It's just like, give me, as long as you give me some bags, I'm good. That was something where I was like, wow, this is a slower bag. I feel really comfortable. And if I can get more time with these over time, I feel like I'm going to be even more successful. So, I think that things ultimately worked out, and it was a little rocky road. But I'm no longer upset, and I'm happy to play, and I'm excited for the season to start. And I wish it would have started this month.
So the off season's too long for you.
Well, typically no. I'd like a break, but with such a with such a big change, like I was ready to get started. Like I was ready to, get things going.
It's a good sign that you're excited.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Does it, like, do you think this like reignites like your like the passion? Like, are we going to get like the Cody Henderson of old?
Well, I mean, we'll see how much money I make first.
Fair enough.
I'll let you know after we figure out. Like, we win a few tournaments. Yeah, I'm sure you will. Like, I mean, it's easy to be like the old me, and it's not like I've changed. It's just the game's tough, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the game was tough back then too. But when you're on the top, and you just you're running hot. It's when you're running and everybody's going through it. I mean, look at all the guys that you've seen over the last 2 or 3 years. They go on a hot stretch, and you're just like, man, I don't see them ever losing. I mean, you had Mark Richards, and then you had some of the younger kids. Like, I mean, Trader was on that really hot stretch. Then Jeremiah was on a hot stretch, and now it's just who's next.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everyone kind of gets into that short-term memory, and that feeling when you are playing that well, you feel like you can't lose, and you're excited, and you're always having a good time. And that's the way I was when I was doing it, all those years ago, and even somewhat recently with a few one-off tournaments. But, hopefully that'll be happening here. And I think that we're definitely going to be having a pretty good chance at taking down some doubles titles.
I'm interested to hear your guys' takes on like some of the changes like the ACL is making this year. So obviously, let's start with the obvious one, like the step over rule. Like, did you guys care either way? Are you happy that it's like eliminated? Like, where do you guys kind of stand on that?
I mean, I wish they would have just kept it how it was. I know there's a lot of controversy with it, but I just feel like we're going to lose a lot of the big shots that you're not going to see anymore. Like some of the huge pushes and the huge bar steps. And that, honestly, those benefit my game a lot more than a lot of other players. But on a regular shot, like, I don't step over.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not gonna affect me. It's just gonna take away some of the huge pushes and the huge shots. So,
well, it take it away, like you're not going to attempt them because you were afraid you might step over, or
there's no reason to, because like even if I do get enough power, it's just weird because I can't carry the momentum forward.
Okay. Fair enough.
I mean, I'm sure I know how Cody feels about it.
Yep.
Just the simple,
I mean, I'm happy it's gone. I'm happy that there is no step over, because it is an unfair advantage just for exactly the point you made. Like, you can't get the power because you're not having to slow your body down. Like, I mean, anyone who's saying, it's the same as anybody who's stepping, like, I have to make sure my body stops so I don't cross the line. But the biggest reason, aside from it being an advantage, in my mind, is it looks really bad. It looks very amateurish. Like, we're on TV and you have people who are unfamiliar with the game and they're watching people step, not even just a foot over. Like, I mean, I don't want to call anybody out, but like a couple that I saw, like Frank Modlin steps are very, very far over.
Yeah.
Like, it just is it looks like you can't balance yourself. It doesn't look very professional. I mean, you even take a sport like bowling. Imagine if you could step over there. Like, it just wouldn't look good. It's a bad look.
Yeah, I get that.
I think keeping yourself controlled, keeping yourself in the box, I think you can still do all the shots. I don't think that anything's limited. It's just going to be harder, and people are going to have to get better. And that's exactly what people have done over these last 10 years, every single year. It's new shots and new strategies have come along. Not only have people figured out how to do them, they've gotten better at them. This is going to be no different. And the game was this way for a very long time, up until a few years ago. So this is just going to be, another thing that here in 2 or 3 years, everyone's going to forget that you were even able to step over.
Yeah, I think we might see like a little learning curve. Like, I think over the last 2 seasons, right, we've seen PPR steadily rise, right? And I think this year, it wouldn't be shocking to me if we saw like if we're taking averages, like the average dip back down just for like probably a season. Yeah, I mean, and then they'll probably start to. They probably. I know.
I don't know about a whole dip. I think maybe just a plateau, because it has steadily climbed. Maybe we just kind of reach a peak for like 2 seasons while people adjust.
A big dip.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think that'll be because of that rule, though. I think that's just going to be because people are trying to figure out new ways to win. Okay. I mean, I think over if you compare this last year or the last 2 years compared to, say, 5 years ago, I think there are a lot more people playing sticky bags now than there were 5 years ago, like when it was just a sliding nonstop.
Well, I think too also there's more variety now, right?
Yeah.
Like like you said, even 5 years ago there was like 4 materials available. You know what I mean? So now I mean, like there's like 30 different materials you can go make different combinations of and put different fill in. You know what I mean? It's like it's
Right.
more tailor made now.
I think manufacturers have definitely gotten more creative with what they're doing, and I think that even 5 years ago you saw people who knew what worked and they wanted to, copycat and create and basically make what's going to sell. Now I think everybody's trying to take the initiative and innovate and make creative and things that are going to benefit the players even more. And I think that's exactly what you're saying. Like that's why we're seeing that now. But I also think that players are sick of players that they would see who they would think like, this player here on any given day, they're probably not as good as me. But then you go up and play them and they just don't miss. Like they just play nonstop until you try to stop them.
Yep.
And I think players are starting to realize, I mean, I need to be good at sliding, but I also need to be good at stopping them from sliding.
Yes.
It's very true.
It's true. I think oftentimes we've said like the hardest shot to hit is a blocker.
First back block, I think, is one of the hardest shots in cornhole.
Well, I think the hardest shot is regardless of who blocks it, is what you're going to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, correct.
You have plenty of options of what you can do with it, but
well, if I'm playing somebody like Ethan, for me, and then again, this is somebody of my skill level. If I throw that first bag block, right, and I'm in my head, I'm like, fuck yes. All right.
Nailed
Advantage.
it.
At least first bag is good. And then he goes over, rolls over. It doesn't even touch my bag. And internally, I am like, oh my God, I'm fucked.
It's like, he didn't even help me.
Yeah. And he's sliding him in too. Like, God damn it. Like, what the fuck?
I think I'd be more worried if he blocked behind it. I mean, say if you set a block and you weren't leaning in the hole and say you're 2 inches back.
Yeah.
Like you don't have any, and he blocks behind.
That's what
I think that creates a much worse opportunity for you.
For
because
me,
now you're
it depends
play
on
a high risk round.
Correct.
Yeah.
It depends on who I'm playing. And guess what? The way I play, I'm shooting that every fucking. I'm just gonna shoot it every time. That's what I would do as well. I mean, it's like when you take someone like you said with Ethan, if he blocks behind and he's going to put himself into a position where he wants to roll 3 bags in a row, you're going to be airmailing 3 bags in a row. You got to really start to think about ahead of time. Do I like that? Yeah, correct.
Like, do I like that? Like, how well am I shooting airmails today?
Yep.
Like, there's so much that goes into it, and like you said there, if somebody did set the block or you set the block and he did roll over, now you have plenty of other options. Do you want to block behind again and really try to make sure no one could get in, or do you want to try to slide through? Can you follow through your own block? Because that might be.
I'm such a nerd, but way back in the day, Trey Ryder used to do these like YouTube videos. We're talking like early ACL, like where he'd go over like certain shots and stuff. And there was a stat the one time that is still stuck with me, that blocking behind, like, so if you can block behind once, but that third block is like basically wasted points. Like, and it was like if you shoot the airmail, even if you hit it at like a lower percentage, like more often than not, you're gonna like end up with points rather than blocking behind. So I'm like, well, I want to win. I want to score points. Like, I know I'm going to probably get up
stuck with you ever since.
Yeah.
I learned so much.
For your scenario there, say I block first and then say Ethan blocks me behind. If I blocked behind his bag, I only see that as disrespectful. That is basically it's exactly what you're saying, is it's wasted points. It is straight disrespectful to say, I don't need that, and we're not moving these bags. You can't make your rolls, and I'm going to put my bags in the hole. And at minimum, I'm getting a wash here. Yeah. I'm not even worried about giving up to. Like, that is straight disrespectful to do that. But
would you do it though every once in a while just to like fuck with somebody though?
Say that again.
Would you do that? Would you do that intentionally throughout a game?
Cody would.
Like once or twice, just to like kind of mess with them, keep them guessing.
No, I think that it depends how they're playing. Like, if they're not playing very well and you want to do that, but if they're not playing very well, you may want to shoot an extra airmail anyway, because
it's true.
Even if you go off the back, like, you're still in a good position. I think if you do take that shot of blocking behind and you do get points, or you do get a push out of it, you should probably look at them while you're walking down and just let them know, like,
Yeah.
you're just going to let me do that? Like, you're gonna let me do that this whole game? Because this whole game's not going to last much longer if you don't make your shots.
Like if I block and someone shoots a first back airmail right over, like I get frustrated. I'm like, I feel like disrespected. Like, oh really? Like you think that's gonna win? I get pissed.
All right,
I think that's the whole point.
block behind.
That's the whole point of shooting is that's
No,
why
but like it gets me fired up. Like if you watch my game at Worlds against Matt Guy, you can see me like he kept shooting over my airmails. You can see me visibly like start talking like, keep shooting it. Like it just frustrates me.
Noted.
Yeah, I mean,
It just makes me mad.
we'll definitely be talking a lot more about strategy as the year goes on.
It's really gonna. I gotta play Ethan. It's really gonna frustrate you when I like deck 3 straight airmails off the back.
Yeah,
Maybe make one of them.
That's funny.
One of the big changes that is coming this year is that they are completely separating the pro division and like pro/elite from everybody else. So if you're not an elite level player or a pro, like when you go to these open events, you're no longer getting to play against, like your favorite ACL pro. As pro players, do you guys like that? Or did you like when it was a true open and it was a free for all? Anyone could win.
Anyone can play, anyone can win. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah. I mean,
Like that frustrates me. I honestly, like, my second open ever, I was nobody. I was terrible. Like, I wasn't very good, but I went and got second in my bracket and open, and then I got hooked. Like,
yeah.
I beat Frank Modlin, and that's how I got hooked. Like, I was chasing like the pros. I wanted to beat the pros, and looking back on it, if the rule is how it is now, like I wouldn't even have been able to play that tournament.
Yeah.
Right. So then, would I even keep playing? I feel like I don't know. I'm not a fan of it, but hopefully that doesn't get me in too much trouble.
No, I mean, you're allowed to have an opinion
Yeah.
on it. I mean, they know that not 100% of the people are going to be happy about these changes.
For sure.
I mean, I think that specifically with that one, I don't think a lot of the changes that happen with the opens over the next few years are going to be like set in stone things that stick. I think that
Yeah, I don't think anything the ACL does is ever set in stone. I think
No,
they've showed that.
Yeah. It's so new.
really
still.
like until the ACL is able to scale a little bit farther, nothing we do now is going to work on a scale that is 10 times as big as what it is right now. Right. And say just 10 times as big as far as how much revenue is being pumped into each event, like to actually run the event, to market, to bring out, to not only have more exposure and have like the ACL's network.
Wait, do you mean the ACL
more
has
like-
costs and stuff? Like this stuff costs money? Wow.
Yeah,
it's
it's
weird.
surprising that going to all these events and getting all this stuff and doing
People don't just
doing all
donate
the
those
TV
huge
costs
hauls.
money, but I think that with the opens, if everything's marketed right, packaged right for the fans, it could be good. I don't see it as something that would be bad.
Yeah.
I think that it's really important for these opens to also, I mean, more heavily market for the people that want to be involved with the ACL. Like the ACL itself wants to grow and it wants to bring in people. It wants to have, it doesn't want to be just the pros. It's, it's cornhole. Like that's what the ACL is. The opens are going to have to do that. And hopefully, at least for this season, everyone's still interested to come out and play in whatever division and work their way up and, have fun. There are plenty of people out there that don't want to play the Frank Modlins, that don't want to play any of the top pros. And, they find their way into tier 1 or they found their way into facing someone they didn't want to face. They just want to play against their competition, but they're too good to play a few levels down, or like their directors are keeping them down because they think they're too good against their area or whatever. There are going to be people that are happy about this. I think that as long as it can continue to grow and you can continue to cater towards the people who are not pros and not elites to keep the game thriving, keep the game interesting for the regular players, it is good. But I don't think that anything that's happening this year is going to be something we're going to see, 1-to-1 mirrored here in 2 or 3 years. I think there's going to be a lot of changes that happen.
Definitely. It's just the growth. There's going to have to be changes.
Yeah, no, I agree. And there's a post that I wanted to, so we do a segment called Dramatic Readings, and one of his posts, I wonder if he took it down.
Did you not take a picture of it?
I only took the
saw it.
picture
I
of the
think I know what you're talking
results.
about.
It's basically what the sentiment was behind it was a lot of people were pissed that tier 1 is the only one that's going to be receiving cash payouts now. It opens.
It's not true.
Tier
So
2. Okay, go ahead.
By tier 1, they're not talking about just the pro division.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And tier 1 gets paid out.
Yeah, so only those that end up in tier 1 in their division are going to get some sort of cash payout. But again, like it, and I think that's where the discussion kind of begins. If you really do the breakdown of what you're getting, if you don't win tier 1, you're probably better off winning like a tier 2 or tier 3.
Hell yeah.
Because you're going to get like it's like the value of stuff you are getting. It's like $500.
Dude, and like who is complaining about winning like a sweet jersey or something that says like you won something? Like I would take that all day to the bank. Save your $50. Give me a sweet jersey.
Yeah.
And a trophy.
I have a hard time. I also do like I don't know. I know I'm in the minority and I've taken a lot of heat about this. I'm also in the minority of like if I pay just because I'm paying to play in a tournament does not necessarily mean that I get to win money.
Yeah, it's not like
I've been involved in many sporting events where I go and I'm participating, but like I'm gonna get a plastic trophy at the end if I win. I'm not winning a cash motherfucking payout. Like or no, like if I want to go pro, that's when I'm gonna win money doing that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
You can be a crazy high level golfer. Like I could go play in some amateurs, and I'm spending probably $150 to win maybe like $50 in in-store credit if I win an amateur tournament.
Yeah,
I swear. Like and
the
that's
in-store credit's the best. Yeah. No, I get some people. They're like, if I'm putting money in, like I'm doing it, like then you should go pick something different.
The beauty of cornhole, like we'll use golf as an example. Yeah, they have those tournaments like you mentioned, the amateur ones where there's not big payouts. We'll call that the tier 1 and tier 2 payouts of the ACL Opens, the equivalency. Then there's also those crazy big clubhouse tournaments that anyone can go join, and they're paying out $50K to the winners. And that's your Paradise Grills. That's they have that stuff in golf too. So like to me, tournaments? Oh, I mean, they're around, man. You just got to be members. You got to pay.
Oh yeah. The member tournament.
Yeah. But still
you're paying like $20,000 a year to be a member.
Correct. Yeah. Correct.
But, I mean, to me, that's the equivalency of our like Paradise Grills or, the Clash, stuff like that anyone can go play in and try to win some money. So, to me, I think people need to start realizing the ACL, it's a pro organization. They have a minor league now established with the elite program. Mm-hmm. And these lower tiers are the people you use that to gauge where you're at. Or if you're just there to have a good time, then money and payout should not mean shit.
I think that if it is a consensus among a lot of the players who are going to be in the divisions that are not going to be receiving heavy cash prizes or any cash prizes at all, I think that feedback's important. Yeah. I mean, if the cornhole people that are going to be attending those events are not happy with, or they don't see the value, that's something that like we need to be looking at, or the ACL needs to be looking at on how we can make it better. If we can't do it specifically with dollar amounts, those are things where we can say, okay, how can we make this event more of an experience for the people who are coming so they feel like they're getting the value on top of being able to play? I think that as we venture maybe the next 3 years out, 5 years out, assuming we can get more money in, more sponsor money just from the league, we can do these events up more to where they are more like an experience. And maybe you have people who are attending these events who have no anticipation to play in these things at all. The experience is just so great, they just want to attend. Like that, I think that's the ultimate goal, because if the ACL is going to scale and get as big as a lot of these other competing sports, it has to be more than just playing. It really does. I mean, you see how many people come out to something like Spencer's, and Spencer's is something that's very unique. And I think that you can have a professional side that also caters to the experience. And
but see, I would argue Spencer's is not the best example, only because like after attending that, 98% of the people there are playing or involved in cornhole in some way. Right.
You really think so?
100%. Yeah. I don't think there were people. I don't think there was I think there was a very small minority of people there that might've been there to see like a band or maybe some of the social media stars, but 98% I would bet. Right. Were cornhole related. We're either playing or related to one of the players You know what I mean? So like it's still tied in. I think the ACL, I think you put it perfectly. I think the ACL is trying to make it so that like the value is felt by like the casual individual. I think that's what they're trying to do. You know what I mean? Like I think it goes down to like if you are, let's say you play in an open, right? Let's say you're competitive and you're in tier 2. You didn't get to tier 1, you're pissed off, but you go back and you win tier 2. Guess what? You took what, like 33rd fucking place.
Yeah.
What do you want to get money for taking 33rd? Like, yes, you won tier 2. We're still going to give you a jersey and we're going to give you a set of boards. Just be fucking happy, like, and go home.
I agree.
That's
I
how
mean,
see it.
I know that's probably not a popular, but I think the ACL, and again, I don't know any of this, but like if I'm in their board meeting, I'm assuming that they're looking at this like the people that are going to complain about this are the ones that are there that are trying to make money off cornhole.
Yeah.
We've already said, unless you're a professional player, if you are banking on cornhole winning to to be a real positive influence on your life, you need to reevaluate your life choices.
Yeah.
All right. I think that they're betting that the majority of the people are still going to attend, regardless if they don't get a cash payout, because people just truly enjoy playing and competing.
Yes, they do.
Every time I ask somebody, why did you like cornhole? I've never gotten the answer, not once, be like, because I'm making tons of money doing it. Like
Yeah.
I see an easy cash flow. No, you love the game first. If you happen to become good enough to become a pro and make money in it, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But that is such the minority of the overall community. And I think the people that are pissed about like not getting cash payouts are such the minority. They just happen to be the loud minority.
Dude, I mean, you literally took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say it earlier, but I said, like, as I was reading that post, it was the loudest voices speaking.
Yeah, of course.
Not the majority of voices.
Yeah, 100%.
So like to me, I don't think there's any issue forthcoming with like people attending or anything. No. If those 12 or 15 people that are upset about not paying out for tier 2 don't show up, I don't think the ACL is going to miss them.
No.
They'll do just fine.
We'll see. I don't know. Because maybe the overall experience will get better.
Very well could be.
Kinds of people there.
Yeah. Those are also the ones that are always at the front desk bothering Keck.
Yeah.
The whole time too.
Or they're also probably the same ones that are like going out to the parking lot sneaking alcohol. You know what I mean? Instead of like supporting the venue. Like, oh, like you want cheaper beer costs? Well, then fucking go in there and buy them so that maybe in the next year we can finally get lower beer prices.
Yeah.
But seriously, we do got to work on that ACL. Like at
really
$12 beer, I'm not fucking doing it.
Yeah,
anymore.
this isn't an MLB game.
Yeah.
All right, can we can we get this shit reined in a little bit?
I can't.
Oh no, I'll pay like $5 for a Miller Lite, which is still outrageous in my mind. I live in Cleveland, Ohio. All right,
$5 isn't bad. That's a good deal.
I can go to 12 bars within a stone's throw of my house and pay $2.50 for a Miller Lite right now.
Yeah.
Me
All right?
too, but I mean, when you're at a venue,
No, yeah.
now.
Again, but yeah, if I'm paying $5 for a Miller Lite event, yeah,
But
it
again,
better be
they're
something
not
nice.
They're not hosting stuff like at the queue.
It better be in a
where I'm
goddamn
paying my
frosted mug.
$12.50 for my Miller Lite.
Fair enough. One of the other big changes, like kind of along those same lines, is that with the pro field, you guys are definitely separated from, like the amateur players. But next year, like it sounds like they're cutting you guys down pretty big. So they're going down to 100. Are you guys happy about this change? Do you think, like Cody, I'm interested because Ethan, I think we've asked you this question, and it was ironic because it wasn't that long before the announcement of like, hey, we're actually going to reduce like the number of pros to 100.
I think it was actually like, it might have even been that episode that we talked.
It might have been
the Stevie Award.
Yeah, it might have been
stuff.
But I found out a little bit after that.
Okay, yeah,
officially.
it was probably the following episode.
But I'm interested. Do you think this is good for the future of like at least the professional side of cornhole, like going this route?
Go ahead, Ethan.
I mean, I just look at it as I'm not trying to be rude to any pro that's not inside the top 100, but if I'm not a top 100 pro, should I really be doing this for a living? Like, should I really be wasting my time spending all this money going to tournaments?
But anyone can play, anyone can win.
Absolutely. I agree. But if you're outside the top 100, you gotta work harder. You know what I mean? Like that's how I feel. Like you're gonna have your chances.
Yeah.
And other scenarios, but
cornhole scenarios. What's up?
Ooh, shout out.
Got
cornhole
you.
Scenario.
Subtle plug.
Best bags in the game.
You're supposed to do like a kitty purr or something after that. Meow. Yeah, thank you. Yep, there you go.
Oh,
there we go. Cody, what do you think?
I'm a little torn.
I mean, you've been around since like the beginning, you know what I mean? So like you've seen it grow and now it's shrinking back down. So I'm very interested to like kind of hear your thoughts on, do you think this is a positive, like, do you think this is a step in the right direction? Do you feel like in your gut that this is a step like, hey, we're taking a step back, but not necessarily a step back, but we're just like pausing it just to reevaluate where we're at. And we're going to move forward from here.
I mean, there's just so many things that are ultimately going to be affected by something like that. There's going to be benefits, and there are going to be potential negative things that say like my biggest worry, I guess, would be with a lot of the pro field getting cut down. Will that ultimately hurt people's interest in becoming pro in the future? Will they think it's much harder, so they're not going to bother? Do you think there's going to be less people trying to get into these qualifiers? Do you think a lot of the pro field is just going to say, I had my one time, I'm just done for good. They won't attend any opens. Like that's the big concern I have is like, will that cause a reduction in total number of players playing cornhole and playing in the ACL, not just pros, just overall? That would be my biggest worry. I think that a decision like that can cause the league to have insane success if it is taken advantage of. I think that having a smaller pro field means that there is more money to go around, at least from the sponsors that are in play now, say from manufacturers and things like that. They don't have to spread their money around as much. So now these pros can play full time. Like that is ultimately a big goal for the ACL, is they want pros to be full time pros. They want them to be paid full time. When they have 100 pros, now suddenly you don't need as big of venues. So now venue costs go down, which ultimately could come back to payouts. Also, that means you have less players that you have to say not necessarily micromanage, but say promote through marketing and things like that. So there are a lot of advantages to there being 100. I think that it all comes down to, can the ACL capitalize and take advantage and have a really good plan going into next year? And I think that, with a lot of player feedback and things like that, that they could, but it's just something we're going to have to see. I could see it going. I could see it going either way. I'm optimistic that it will be overall a good thing, and the people that like cornhole are going to be here, whether they can aspire to be pro one day or whether they feel like they can't, that they just want to play and they want to be a part of it and they want to follow the game. And, if anything, just support the people from their area, be a fan.
Is that your concern though? Is that there's not enough of those to like make this last?
No, rephrase that. Say that in a different way. What do you mean?
I mean that you made a remark before that you thought that with less pros could theoretically mean that there's less overall interest in the game, right? Like it could lead to that route.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I wonder if,
no, obviously we're speculating. I'm not holding you to this.
Yeah,
I get it. Just your thoughts.
Like, I just don't know. Like, I mean, in my mind, like that's.
Well, let me ask you a question. If you were not a pro player, like let's say next year you didn't make it in the top, will you still find yourself actively looking to go play in cornhole tournaments?
No.
Okay, so do you think a little bit of your opinion could theoretically be like a self-reflection of where you're at with the game overall?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
I mean,
I just think it's important to note that. You know what I mean? Like,
that's part of where my opinion comes from is like, if I mean, honestly, when we're talking about this game is expensive. I mean, even with 100 players, it's not like instantly all 100 players are going to be full-time players that are going to quit their jobs and, be making like, let's say gross 6 figures before expenses and everything, which you ultimately wouldn't come home with that, but gross 6 figures, that's a pretty ridiculous thought. It's almost a ridiculous thought to say that 5 people are going to do that. It's very hard to say. Yeah. There's a lot of opportunity to be had. It's going to take a lot of creative things, doing things different. The ACL are doing different things. They're piloting things. They're testing things out. Really, it takes one of these things to really hit, and that could be the new thing. And the one thing that I pitch more than anything is, how can we get the people that are viewing on TV to come out and show up at these venues and cheer for us and the way that they do on TV. And
yeah, it's hard, man.
I think
it's hard.
slimming down
It's
might
hard.
help that though.
What's that?
I think slimming down the pro division might help like more.
No, I
fans
do. I think so too. Yeah.
Because then we're held up on more of like not to sound arrogant, but we're going to be held up on more of a pedestal. Like they're going to look up to
they
us
have less
more,
people to
'cause there's
market.
not so many, right?
Yeah, they
right.
have less people to market. Yeah, I mean,
Well,
like
you used a
said,
big
like,
term there. That's called market. So they have to market in general.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to market, but you also
too.
have to be able to have something that we can house those people. Like it's a big liability risk as well. Like you couldn't have people come into the way they're structured right now. You'd almost have to have a preliminary field that gets it down to like say 16 people, and then you run the 16 people, which I've talked to you guys about it before.
Yeah,
like a tennis tournament where every match is scheduled and everything is a live stream court, but the live stream courts are done up a lot better. And I mean, even the way those are broadcasted on the ACL digital network, those can be like shows when you don't ever see empty boards not throwing. When the boards are empty, you have a camera turned right back at the announcers and they're putting on a show until people are coming back up. There's a lot of unique things you can do to enhance the experience that can give more value that sponsors could see, but could also make people want to come out because, we are selling it. Everybody here is selling what we're doing.
Do you think the ACL is receptive to players' opinions, like for changes and stuff?
Say that again.
Do you think the ACL in general is accepting or like open to players' opinions on topics and willing to change?
At least on the player committee, they've been very open.
Okay.
I haven't been on in a meeting where everyone has, like, the ACL has just said, we are not doing that. We don't like that. That's stupid.
Okay.
No one, they've never said that one time. And
That's
there
good.
have been some stupid stuff that get brought up where I'm on mute and I'm like, oh my God, this is so stupid. Why are we talking about this?
Yeah, Ethan.
But I mean, but they've never once said that. They've taken every bit of feedback, and they've taken every bit of feedback from players who aren't on that call, that have talked to players that are on that call. And those players that have heard from other players or kind of got a consensus, they brought it up on those calls and they've taken some good notes and they said, hey, that's good. And they made changes based off of that over this last year.
I feel like they do a lot better than people give them credit for on that. Like, I feel like the overall consensus is they don't do very well, but I think they do a good job of listening to us players and trying to take everything in consideration because they know that the sport's growing and there's so much room to improve everywhere.
No, I'm not trying. I wasn't trying to be critical. Like sometimes it's like, it's like T-ball,
I
set it up and let you guys knock it out of the park kind of thing. I'm trying to pull up these listener questions here real fast, but Dane's internet and my phone do not cooperate.
I don't know what it is with your phone, man.
Dude, it's so frustrating. Like I'm just trying to check some shit.
It's crispy right now. I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's
pull it up.
All right, so
Damn, thought I beat
Ethan,
you
this
to
is
it.
clearly for you. I'm assuming you know Adam Deere. He wants to know, have you ever seen the show Walker, Texas Ranger, and why is it your favorite show?
Okay, I have not, but my entire life I've been called Walker Texas Ranger.
You've never seen Walker, Texas Ranger?
Bro.
No.
Oh my God. Like I grew up with that show. Like I would come home from school and my grandfather would be sitting on the couch like watching that show.
It's brilliant.
Like, oh yeah. Yeah. It's the best.
Yeah. So I need to watch that.
Yes, you
I need to
do.
get on that. All right. I'll get on it.
Okay, so I think this is kind of great. We got to decide. I'm trying to decide how we ask this. All right. If the ACL and the ACO were the presidential candidates, what one is Trump and which one is Kamala? So obviously we could have some different opinions on this.
Go ahead, Cody.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Right off the rip, I think we got to go. Robert Kennedy would be TCL for sure.
Oh, absolutely. That's a great take. I'm so happy you made that take.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, I'm not gonna touch that. This is not a political.
I'm not gonna touch that.
I don't need the hate mail. I don't need it.
I can already see my inbox blowing up.
Oh yes. There's nobody got it right though. I was just looking through it. A lot of Kyle Malone. A lot of people thought Kyle Malone. Yeah, a lot of Kyle Malone.
I heard he's playing. I heard some things.
Me too. I'm not allowed to say anything though. I'm sworn to secrecy, but he's not retiring, so we'll just put that up.
I know he's not retiring. It's gonna be kind of wild.
So,
You're not at liberty to say, Sean.
Cody, I'm interested. So you go obviously like a lot of road trips, right? Like traveling around for cornhole and stuff. When you stop at a gas station, like what's like your go-to snacks that you get at a gas station?
Oh man,
Don't say Bud Light.
I usually get coffee.
Okay.
Like that's the first thing I'm looking for is like.
Are you like
looking-
a coffee guy? Are you like going up to like one of those like machines you got to hold in the button and it's like syrup is coming out? Like, you know, like
I'm trying to find a gas station that has a Starbucks by it.
Oh, okay. All right. So you
that's the first thing I'm trying to do. I mean,
that
I guess
cornhole
if I'm just stopped at a gas station and I'm not going to get anything to eat. I mean, I guess I might get a case if my cooler's empty.
Okay.
And put in the cooler.
So like snack wise, like you wouldn't like grab a snack.
Is that not a snack? Is a case not a? Does that
I
not
mean,
count?
yes, it does. It does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then,
It's all right.
a case.
This
yeah.
is why we don't sponsor junior players, by the way. So.
You're renting cooler, Cody.
Yeah, you put that case in my rented cooler.
You rent coolers.
You rent coolers?
We don't need to talk about that.
Is that a thing?
It is. Just ask Walmart. You can rent coolers.
Wait, you can rent a cooler from Walmart? That is terrific. Cody, you're gonna have to let me in on this the secret afterwards, because that's it's pretty
Nah,
baller.
that's been said. We're good. We can figure it out.
Ethan, what about you? You're going on a road trip, you stop at a gas station. Like, what's your like go to, like, what are you grabbing? Are you like an energy drink guy? Or are you
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
really?
No caffeine. Okay. I don't do caffeine.
Really?
Not good.
Okay. Interesting. Wow. Wait till you like, how old are
I'm
you?
too wired. I'm already wired enough.
Just wait a few years. You'll be good.
Caffeine puts me over the edge.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, some like Chex Mix, maybe some like Dots pretzels, you know?
All right. So you're more like a salty guy then?
Right. Super salty. And then extra sweet tea every time.
Oh, okay. All right. Do you have
So-
like a particular brand you like more?
Gold Peak has to be extra.
Oh, it
Not
has to
not
be
get it,
extra.
not extra sweet.
He likes that sweet tea. All right.
You have any questions?
Yep.
I typed some out real quick
Oh, go ahead.
because
Please.
why not? It's always fun to have random stuff.
You guys,
Yes.
I was gonna say you guys always have the most random questions.
We do.
Yeah.
It makes it fun.
So here's a nice random question. What's the most useless talent to have?
Just like in general?
Yeah. Like you just hear somebody like say, like brag about something. You're like, well, that's dumb. Like why,
Right.
who cares?
I feel like the next question is going to be, do you remember the tallest man you've ever met? Like, what are these questions?
All right. So I think, all right, I'll go with one. I got one right off the top. of my
Okay.
head. Partially because I don't do this well.
Yes.
Like chugging like anything fast. Like if you give me a pint of beer,
Useless.
yes, it's useless. Why do you
Useless.
listen? If
No,
you
no,
put a
no,
pint of
no.
beer,
No,
listen,
no,
you
no.
put a pint of beer in front of me. When am I ever going to need that skill to drink it as fast as I can? Other
In a
than like,
boat race.
yeah, in some drinking game. I don't give a
Yeah.
shit about it. You want to go beer for beer with me? Just in, like make it a marathon? I got you. Don't worry about that. But like we're talking about straight sprinting. Like look at me. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
not going to happen.
I wasn't built for speed.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with like chugging quickly because like you don't have to. Like don't worry about it.
Weak answer. I don't like that answer.
Well, it's my answer.
I'm
so
kind
I'm going
of
with
there
it.
with you. I mean, this is a podcast. We talk about drinking on this episode.
It's
Like,
chugging.
yeah,
Chugging.
yeah. I know.
Fast.
What
What's the question again?
What is the most pointless? Like what was it?
what's the most useless skill? What's the most useless talent to have?
Yeah. So chugging.
Spinning a cornhole bag on your finger.
Oh,
is the most
I
useless
like
ever.
that for a cornhole podcast. It's such a good answer.
It is a good
Yeah,
answer.
that is the most useless of everything in the world.
Ethan's trying not to take it personally.
I'm kind of taking it personally. I'm gonna start.
Do you know what? Do you know what's the funniest thing is? Like, I see so many videos of that still, and I always see guys do that after they throw one up the left or something. Like they throw one up the left of the board, and then they spin the bag on their finger. I'm like, damn, that guy's cool.
Yep. And then it readjusts it. It realigns it.
It's almost like a
I
fidget
guess.
spinner.
I guess.
He's adjusting
guys.
the weave on the bottom of the bag.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Correct.
What's your give me a useless talent.
Useless talent. I don't know. What's a useless? I don't know. That's a
Like
tough
chugging.
question. No, absolutely not. That's a talent that's a necessity.
Like, I mean, or you could say something like crazy, like eating hot dogs as fast as Jamie Graham. You know what I mean? Like,
No one can do that, Sean. No one. All right.
She's gone. You blink and it's just gone.
I seriously have no idea.
All right, we'll let you off. We'll
I mean,
be nice.
I think for me, I would go like. I mean, I kind of like the lines that you went with the chugging.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
guys can judge me all you
like
want.
eating something fast is. Yeah, I mean, I like to enjoy my
Yeah.
food. Clearly, a little
I
too
agree.
much.
Um,
But then I also
Dumb
thought about Cody like spinning bags. Then I thought double jointedness. What,
yeah,
like,
that's yeah.
who
I would agree
cares
with
if
that.
you
That's a
can
good one.
bend your finger
Is
back
that,
to your
is
wrist?
that a talent? Oh yeah, all right, I'll give you
Right?
that.
Like
Yeah,
people
yeah.
always
Yeah,
present it
talent.
as a talent. I just
Yeah,
don't
it's a
really
talent.
care.
They-
Yeah, I'll get
that's
that.
what,
Yeah, I'll
like,
give you that.
talent shows back in the 90s, like when you were in school.
So
Like that's,
true.
that's
Exactly.
all kids
They're
did.
like, hey, I can lick my elbow.
So
Be
Cody, you
like,
got to
"That's
remember.
not a good
So
thing."
the 1990s weren't that long ago. Okay, like it was what year were you
Come on,
born?
time out. I was born in 2004.
Yeah, I was gonna say he
Jesus
doesn't
Christ.
know the
Oh, yeah,
90s,
that's right.
so
Oh man, we gotta know our audience, Cody. It's all right, man.
Yeah.
We'll be
that's
all right.
why I couldn't
You're-
answer that
Cody,
question.
just think about how cool you're gonna be after hanging out with Ethan all year. Like you're gonna be like I mean, it's
He's
gonna
so
be,
excited.
oh my god, man!
That is
like,
true.
I can't. I want to have a conversation with you using like all the slang.
like the kids slang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
I keep trying to.
We should have put Cody through a quiz on like what the words mean. That would
He
be
needs
fun.
Snapchat.
Yeah, I would be.
Maybe that's after. Maybe that's right before Worlds. We'll see where he's at.
you have work to do. Yeah. So Ethan,
Ethan,
that is
just
you are
Tell
now
us what you taught
Yoda.
him.
All right, you are Yoda. You have to teach him the youth language.
I don't even know.
I
if
might
got
start. I might start wearing headphones. I don't know.
that. Absolutely not.
Can't do it on the main court anymore.
Is that true?
Oh, you can't. That's
That's,
good.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's what
So
I heard,
if we
yeah.
get on broadcast, I feel bad for everyone else.
Why is
They can't
that?
wear headphones. They're gonna have to listen to Cody.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's very true.
You're not quiet though either.
No, I get a little. Sometimes I get loud.
Yeah.
So I was actually thinking about trash talk because people were bringing it up as
Yeah,
well in the cornhole sphere. And how funny would it be if somebody's trash talk was like that one dude that shouts out to the baseball players?
Oh,
Like saying nice things about him. He's like, "Hey, you look like somebody who always tucks in his shirt, you bum." Like just like say nice things to people, just make it sound mean.
dude, he's
I think
getting.
it would mess
Saw
with
that. Is
people.
was that the guy in the outfield?
Yeah,
he's
man. and he's-
hilarious.
Do you know how much
Yeah,
money
that's
he's
funny.
making off views right now?
I know.
Like it's
And he gets-
genius.
They gave him season tickets.
Yeah.
They're like, just go make fun of the same
it's
four people
genius,
in the
man.
outfield all season. It's fine.
Yeah, dude, it's so great. And like the amount of people that have seen the stuff
Yeah.
that sit by him now and they all
Absolutely.
chat. Oh
It's-
my god, it's
It's
great.
brilliant. I have
That's
one last great question though.
Okay, please.
All right, Ethan, you have to answer this one first.
Ooh.
I'm putting you, Johnny, on the spot right now. If you were any kitchen appliance, which one would you be, and why?
Wow. Dryer.
We said kitchen appliance.
Wait, what's a
That is
kitchen
not-
appliance?
Yeah.
20,
All right. Wait,
2004. Kitchen
Like,
appliance. So like
something
So
you
that'd
use
be a
to
fridge.
cook.
So that'd
something
be
in
like
your
fridge.
kitchen.
A refrigerator.
I got you. Ooh, dishwasher.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
All right. All right.
I
that,
like to
actually.
clean stuff up. I like to clean it up.
Fair enough. All right. He likes a dirty board and then clean it up.
Clean it up.
I
Right,
like that.
right.
All right. Look at that. We just kind of
Is
This
that
could be
all
a
right,
new
his new
nickname.
nickname?
the dishwasher.
Ethan Dishwasher.
We're not drunk.
yeah, for sure. Dishwasher. For sure.
Ethan
All right.
the Dishwalker.
Yeah, ooh. Wow.
Maybe we'll figure it out. We'll workshop it.
Hmm.
It doesn't quite work.
Yeah.
It sounded
Oh,
cool
yeah.
because I put the right emphasis on it,
Yeah.
and then like when you hear it back, you're like,
No,
"That's kind of
Not
dumb."
it.
I'm gonna go with an air fryer.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, that's.
It's just multi, you know what I mean? It's just involved in so many different things. You use it like I use it like pretty much every day at the house.
For the record, all these like
Sturdy.
everyone in the world
reliable.
that thinks these things are like the newest hot commodity, it's called convection oven. Like they've
I
been
get
around
it,
for a
but-
hot minute.
I get it.
Pun intended.
I just didn't have that feature.
Fair
so-
enough. I know.
But yeah, that's
So I
so
just
that's my
don't
answer.
understand the revelation about it. Cody, what you got, man? Kitchen appliance.
Maybe like a freezer, I guess.
Ice cold. His nickname's
Yeah,
Icebox.
ice cold.
Cody Icebox Henderson.
It's
Yeah.
cool.
There
Well, I
we
mean,
go.
I don't know. Like I blow up too much to be a freezer. I think.
I
I
was
don't
thinking
know.
maybe like a 1980 like microwave or something. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, maybe a microwave. I mean, it can't be an oven because I don't get baked.
Heyo.
wow, look at you.
So
Dad joke, huh?
Well, I mean, that's why
You just signed up for that.
I thought everyone who's smoking right now listening to this is going to be like, I'd be an oven. I'd be an oven. That's what they're all saying. Yeah.
And if that's the case, can you please message us?
Yes.
Like, I just want to see how many people you called. 'Cause I think we get a lot of the morning commutes.
Very true.
Typically. So, but yeah, you never know. Depending.
Yeah.
Could be a construction worker.
Very true. Very true.
Not to generalize an entire population of people, but it's kind of true. All the ones I know, at least. All right.
And I would be a KitchenAid, just for the record. Be a mixer
Yeah.
with all the attachments because, I'm
I like
kind of
that.
like
You like
a.
to beat it.
Yeah, I like to beat it. That's for damn sure. Look at my forearms.
It's true.
Yeah, and I feel I'm like a Swiss Army knife of a man, a Renaissance
Is that
man.
right?
I don't do anything great, but I do a lot of shit really well.
Fair enough. You
All
take
right.
it to a certain point.
Yep, exactly. But it's just like,
something else.
yep,
to go.
like
That's the best answer by far.
It's all right.
That's the best answer. It's solid.
yes, I
Fair
win. I actually thought oven was the best answer, but nobody took it.
Well, we don't get big, so
Well, Cody took the fun out of that one. So.
That's all right. It was still funny. Well done, Cody.
Well, hey, I want to thank you guys for stopping by. This has been fun. I think you guys are very going to be early in the season. I think you guys are going to be under the radar for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I think this is going to be a very good team, and I expect like you guys to do really, really well. I'm excited that Cody, you got bag sponsorship. Things are leveling out. Are you doing this full time now? Like, are you full time cornhole pro?
I don't want to show my whole hand. I mean, you shouldn't be asking questions like
Your
that.
camera's not
Why
on,
not?
so
I
you
ask
can't
it
see
to
it.
almost everyone.
Andy's
Yeah, I know.
practicing.
You don't have to answer.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I guess everyone's just going to have to tune in and keep tabs on me and, follow me on all my socials and stuff.
I tried to, but you post
probably
once every
start-
2 years.
Well, I mean, I'm going to start posting it again.
All right, there we go.
I think this is going to be the year that there definitely will be more travel. There will be,
Sweet.
be more fun had. I'll be able to share a lot of those experiences. So I'm pretty happy about all of it. Pretty excited for just what this year is going to hold for us and cornhole in general.
Hell yeah.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed the interview. We'll be back next week. Don't forget to check out Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/bigasscornhole for the price of a beer a month, you can support us in what we're doing. Shout out to Draggin Bags.
Hell yeah.
Code BIGASP12 is going to save you 12% off your whatever you got, bags, clothes, all that fun stuff. And be on the lookout for our new line of merch. It's going to be dropping this week. We have the hot dog t-shirts that I'm actually rocking right now. So if you're on
John's wearing
Patreon
it.
watching it right now. So we got those dropping, and Dane has a whole bunch of new designs we're going to be dropping out soon. So
Hell yeah.
pay
I'm
attention.
excited.
So hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys again for joining.
Thank you.
Oh yeah,
Appreciate
you guys are always welcome
appreciate
anytime. You know that,
Thanks for having us.
of course. And we'll have
Hell
you guys
yeah.
hang
Go
on for
kill
just
it
a
this
minute.
season.
We'll let the folks go at home. So as always, we hope you throw it straight. It's nothing but 4 baggers from here on out.
Cornhole it.
Later.